Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. And we are back now with our medium, our psychic, our animal communicator, our friend, Jaime Breeze. Exciting to have you here once again. How you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks, Jill. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. You're looking all cozy with that beautiful fireplace. And I know you're in colder weather, right?
Yes. It's been mild the past few days, and now I think we have freezing rain outside. So I'm like,
and you're up in Jasper National Park, right? For those that may not know.
yes, the Northern Canadian Rocky Mountains in Alberta.
Beautiful. Well, welcome back to the show today. Always a pleasure to have you here. And the work you do is fascinating. For those that may not know, Jaime, would you mind explaining a little bit about your gifts and your talents that make you so unique?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Jill. Hi, everyone. I am a psychic spiritual medium and an animal communicator. As Jill mentioned, I am based in Jasper National Park, but most of my work is done via Zoom. So it doesn't matter where in the world you are. I can work with you, connect with your loved ones on the other side, even your animals in the physical and non-physical.
Beautiful. And just to start, JaimeBreeze.com is the website, correct? How can we reach you?
Yeah, JaimeBreeze.com and on Instagram at The Mountain Medium.
Beautiful. So what does the Mountain Medium have in store for us today? What's been happening in your world? And what do you think Spirit is needing to let audience know today? What's happening?
I wanted to talk today about animals' emotions and the importance of us understanding what our pets are feeling. Whether you have a dog, a cat, a bird, a horse, they all have the same emotions, needs, and wants as us humans. Our animals also grieve. They have PTSD. They have and likes and dislikes. And sometimes we just overlook what they're needing. A lot of animals are children to many people, which is amazing. So I feel that those people already kind of understand what their animals needs and wants, but unfortunately not enough people consider their animals children, and they are just pets or livestock or whatever. So I've really noticed that society doesn't see the depth of their souls, and it's been completely overlooked. So I'd like to kind of talk about that today.
Please. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So animal communication, which is one of the services I offer, is based on telepathy. And telepathy is the transference of words, thoughts, objects, emotions, colors, and feelings. It is actually, Jill, the oldest form of language on this planet. And we were born knowing telepathy, but once our parents start teaching us a language, we kind of stop using that portion of our brain. And it can be easily retrained. It's just like going to the gym and retraining a muscle group. So all of our animals communicate telepathically with one another. So even if you have a dog and a cat in the same household, they know how to interact with one another. And one's the boss and one's not, because they feel that. They know stuff, right? And all our animals are here for a purpose and a reason. And they give us so much unconditional love that it's important for us to look at them and understand what their needs are so we can do the same. If you have a 5-year-old and they come home from school, they're upset about something, you're going to comfort them and try and find a solution. So that is the same thing with animal communication. And I have a couple examples here today for you.
Perfect. Let's go.
One of my clients in California adopted a dog recently, and he was surrendered by his previous owners. She was just told they were moving. So I connected with this dog. His name is Norm. He's so amazing. And Norm was concerned because he told me he had a little girl in this family, and he was very stressed that she wasn't okay. He didn't know where she went. So when I connected with my client, I asked her, I said, well, did this family have a little girl? And she said, I have no idea. All I know is the family had to move overseas. So I went back to Norm and I said, Norm, I'm so sorry that you're grieving this little girl. And again, I don't know if there is a little girl anywhere, but that's what he told me. Her parents had to move overseas for work and she's with them. She's safe. And once I explained that to Norm, his demeanor completely changed. He was like, oh, he was so concerned because unfortunately his family didn't tell him what was happening.
Oh.
Living with his family, this little girl was his best friend, and they just surrendered him, and he was so confused about it.
Oh my gosh. I mean, and these things happen. We understand they have to happen. But so you're saying as a pet owner, it's important to talk to your animal ahead of time. This is what has to happen. They will understand and show
Yeah,
them some type of emotion. They can understand is what you're saying.
they absolutely do understand. And it's okay if you don't understand them back. But even like what would have been the ideal situation in this with this family is, yeah, talk to Norm, say, listen, we have to move far, far away and it's not safe for you to come. We're all going to be together and we're going to make sure you have a nice new mom, new home. So my client actually contacted me a few weeks after our session to confirm that they little girl and her and Norm were like two peas in a pod. So yeah, and then Norm started like he was behaving like in weird ways that sometimes, and he just wasn't himself. But after he understood where she was, there was a big change in behavior. So again, like they feel that, they grieve, they have the emotions.
Oh my God. So she actually, I guess, made contact with whoever gave her the dog or to the people themselves and they confirmed this. That's
Friend of a friend who she connected with, and they confirmed that.
oh
So
my goodness.
really important. And even if you're going on holidays or something, Jill, it's so important to tell your
You told
animals.
me this. Yep.
Yeah. Because if, like, for example, like my cat and dog here, if I just left for a few days, they'd be looking out the window saying, what is going on?
Mm.
So easy as just giving them an image. What a lot of people do who like to communicate with animals, they send a vision to their animal of the sun rising and setting. So if you're gone 7 times, they'll do it seven, or if you're gone a week, they'll do it 7 times to show the 7 days. And then the animal will know, okay, I have to go to bed 7 times, and then
Mm-hmm.
we'll be home. So again, it's okay if you don't understand what your animal's saying back, but they understand what you are saying. A lot of the time people wonder why their dogs jump up on the couch when they ask them not to. Well, what the dog is hearing is you and couch. So the dog is like, oh, okay, they want me on the couch.
Couch.
Yeah. So what people are supposed to do is actually give them a vision of them just sitting on the floor by the couch. And then their behaviors will change.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really simple, and we've just kind of overlooked this, and anyone can do this type of work. I actually created a program, Introduction to Animal Communication, for anyone who does want to learn better techniques and stuff to communicate with their animals, or anyone who wants to do this on a professional level, because as I mentioned, telepathy can be done by anyone.
Wow.
It's just a matter of exercising that part of the brain that we've stopped using.
Now, you also have the telepathy gift, but you also have an intuitive gift. And you still say everyone has this intuitiveness to them, but again, hard to tap into. So you have a triple whammy here. You have a lot going on, which makes you the expert. And this class in particular, is this something you're offering online? Is this a group session? Is it one-on-one?
I do it one-on-one. I just find it's people get a lot more out of it when I'm concentrating on what their strengths and weaknesses are, where they have to build, et cetera, et cetera. And I throw people right in. By week 2, they are communicating with my animals. And it's actually so much fun for them because they don't think they can do this. And one of the exercises I do, Jill, is I ask them to connect with Lily, my cat, and Lily is a very spiritual cat. And I ask Lily to take them on a tour of my house. And this because I want to prove to them that they are getting concrete evidence. So in the next week, after they've like gone home, done their homework, talked to Lily takes them on a tour of my house. We'll meet on Zoom and I'll take them on a Zoom tour of my house just to prove to them that they are correct and that I'm not lying.
Oh my gosh. So wait, so Lily will tell them like, okay, there's a bedroom here, or there's a like what types of specifics about the house are they communicating about? Like color, like rooms, or like what specifics?
Favorite chair to sit on, what color that chair is, the plants in our house, which plant is Lily's favorite. She talks about her little cat doors that she can go through. She talks about her favorite toys. Likes lying on some rugs. She doesn't. She'll put her around them. She doesn't like the feel of them. I don't know why. I should ask her. So I will literally take people on a tour and she gives them, okay, yeah, the dining room is here attached to this and attached to this. And people are like blown away that they've actually done it.
Communicated with.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is super cool. That is a great way of proving the work that you've trained them to. That is awesome.
Yeah. And again, that's week 2. Week 2, they're doing this work. So see, and people are able to do this. And so it's such a great way because our animals understand us so much. They, if you're sick, they just lie beside you. They want us to feel better and we need to do the same for them. We need to give them what they need. I recently communicated with this pig, Winston. He's so cute. Unfortunately had to rehome him. But she goes to visit him every week, takes some treats, all this stuff. And she was upset by it. So she asked me to connect with him. And he's her little baby, even though he's like twice the size of her now. But,
of course.
He's like her little man. And so one of the things he told me, he's like, I miss my mom. I look up at the stars each night thinking about her and I just really wish she could be here to tuck me in. And it was the saddest thing ever because this like big pig just wants his mom to tuck him in. So I mentioned to her. So now every night at the same time, she'll look up at the stars and send him love and tuck him in good night telepathically. And it made him a lot happier. And I know stuff like that, people can say, oh, you're just making that up, but it's true.
Oh my God.
So, I mean, this pig, he was lonely. He wanted his mom. And now she's able to do this for him. And then when she sees him, he's now all excited. Whereas before, sometimes he was like, why aren't you here at night with me?
Yeah.
Now she's there. So
that is so awesome. Jaime Breeze. You're surprising me each and every time we speak. This is great.
Yeah. And another one I did this past week. One of my clients, she is expecting her first baby but her dog is her baby. We thought, let's prepare the dog to be a big brother, and so I connected with her dog and I told him what's happening, what the changes are going to be, and that you have to be a big brother. And he was so excited for now these new tasks. And he's going to be so pumped to be this awesome big brother and take care of mom and his new baby sister. And just at first he was so confused about everything. He was like, I don't understand why we're getting all this new furniture in the house. It was like baby crib and all this stuff. And why is mom looking different? Why does she smell a bit different? All this stuff. So I explained to him what is actually happening. And he's like now over the moon. And he actually showed me people coming in the future to see the baby and him being so proud that he actually wanted us to make sure that he is acknowledged as well as the baby. So his mom is going to make sure that when her friends and family come over to meet her new baby, that they also acknowledge her dog and say, you're being such a good big brother, because he's so proud. He feels like he's a part of this, and also his mom wanted him to be reassured that he is still the baby, and that if he's not getting enough attention right away, that the lack of love isn't there. It's a little hectic right now.
To say the least. Yes, yeah. It will be. Aw.
a lot better about that, and we'll do check-in after the baby's born, and I'll check in with him and just make sure everyone's on the same page and stuff. But he is really excited to also be helping. And it was so funny because you wonder, like, okay, how are you going to help? But by helping, it's just being around, yeah, and sleeping beside the baby, making sure she's safe, all that stuff. So again, and if you had a toddler and you were expecting, you'd kind of prep the toddler in the same way. Like, you're getting a baby sister. It's okay. Mommy still loves you. I'll be here. It's going to be a little crazy, but I need your help.
Now,
Yeah.
have you been contacted by people in the aftermath where it's like, hey, I had a baby, didn't prepare, and now my dog or my cat is acting different? Are they feeling lonely? And then you're doing the work after the fact. Has that happened as well? Because I'm sure, clearly that must happen. Not everybody contacts someone like you ahead of time, but
yeah, I haven't actually done it yet, but I do have a few inquiries to do it. So I'm just waiting to discuss dates and stuff. But yeah, there's been sometimes one of the issues is the mom is in bed with the infant, like feeding, and the dog will jump up and sometimes doesn't realize his strength and kind of land on the a little bit. So they're hoping that we can just say, hey, maybe like not do that. But the dog wants to be a part of it,
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm just waiting to hear back from them on dates and stuff when we can set that up. But yeah, absolutely, 100%.
The jealousy factor. Yeah, it's just like it's another soul. It's animal, it's a baby, it's the same thing. You got to prep your little one, whatever, if it's a boy, a girl, or if it's an animal, for the next person that's coming in. You're right. Never thought of it that way, and how they must feel, because the whole dynamic changes. And if no one's there to kind of say, hey, it's okay, give you that big hug, they could get really upset and confused and lost, and then mentally depressed. All these things, just like us.
And worst case scenario is they could nip the baby, out of and stuff. And then that's a whole different ball game. You know what I mean? So it's best to like get control of this situation now so that there is no conflict.
Yeah.
Depression thing. Absolutely. And the other thing with our animals' emotions is they want nothing but the best for us. They will do everything for us. And it is like heart to see the feelings and emotions behind this. As you know, my dog passed away 5 years ago, and she's recently been reincarnated. She came back into a physical body 2.5 years ago. But when she was really sick in her previous body, she knew how important her 16th birthday was to me. I don't know why I cared so much, but I was just so proud of her for living such an amazing, awesome, long life. And we had her sweet 16th party. All her friends came over, and she was sick, and she just lied there, and we all doted over her. And unfortunately, the next day is when she transitioned to the other side. So you can only imagine how difficult that was. You come home after having to put her down, and all her party favors are still around. There's celebrations, and I just walked in the house and just like was in a state of shock, actually. But the thing was, she held on for me. She just pushed that last little bit, and just to give me her party. And why that party meant so much to me, again, I don't know, but she knew it did, and she went the next day. So she did that for me. I also have a client right now whose dog, he's senior, and he's going to transition any moment. And he has this message he wants to give to his dad. They have separated. So his dad lives a couple hours away. So this dog's mom, ex-wife, contacted him and said, listen, so-and-so is about to pass away. He wants to tell you something, and dad hasn't come yet. I feel that this dog is just holding on to give him this message. And it's really heartbreaking for his mom, because she knows he wants to go. He needs to go, but he wants to give this message to his dad.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah. And so when we connected, the message, this man, if he hears it, he will just be humbled and have an easier time with things in life. So it's definitely up to him though, if he's willing to come and receive it.
Oh my gosh, how heartbreaking. I'm just assuming, and we're not talking specifics, but I guess mom and dad don't really communicate much. So he hasn't really gotten back, even though I'm sure he loves his dog, but I know sometimes things happen between people that.
Yeah, no, she's reached out and asked him to come and get this message. And yeah, he just won't,
Oh,
he's ready yet.
okay.
So maybe when this dog does transition, he'll be able to get the message through to his dad in another way. But I feel he's holding on before it goes. So again, like our animals do so much for us, and we often don't recognize it.
Yeah, you're right. We don't. My goodness, we don't. And I feel so bad now because I had my cat Cuddles, who was on the bed this morning and was needing my son's blanket. And I'm like, I don't want you on that blanket because you got litter on your feet. I'm like, dirty germs. So I took him off the blanket before I left. I feel bad, but okay. Now I probably should get him the same blanket. Maybe I could do that to help him because I don't want him on my son's blanket because it's the germs transfer. But so I could be a better mom. I'll get a duplicate. I got it on Amazon.
Yeah, with my cat too. It's funny when my friends or family come over, they know that our animals are part of our family and not just pets. So if my cat's sitting on that chair, I'm sorry, you can't sit on that chair because she gets mad. She gets mad just like a person. She has a personality, and so people know, okay, I don't want Lily to be mad at me. I want her to be my friend so she can have the chair. But remember a couple of weeks ago, I also mentioned that dog in Hawaii who also loves his mother's handbags.
Yes.
Yes. So again, our animals are interested in that stuff as well. Like, not that this dog wants purses of her own, but she's intrigued by what humans do, and so things matter to them,
Hmm.
so it's important to communicate with them, even just talk to them. By talking to them, acknowledging them, keeping them in the loop is so critical. If you're stuck in traffic and you're late coming home from work, just send them a message.
Hmm.
um Say, I'll be an hour longer, and they'll understand, because if not, they'll just be sitting in the window like, where are you, what's happened?
Can
It's
I can I ask though why sometimes I can't? Okay. So for years I've been trying to talk to Cuddles and he doesn't understand that he chews like we just had my son's birthday party. He'll chew any string, like a plastic string. He'll chew plastic bags. Or if he does get out of the house, he'll run, grab grass and eat it. And then he's vomiting all the time. If I come home from the grocery store, I leave the bags on the floor, he'll chew the bag quick. He but he just somehow won't ever listen. Like he doesn't understand that it's hurting him, that it's going to make him throw up. And this has been going on for since he was little. Like, so is he not listening? Am I not communicating to him right? Like, please, you're hurting yourself. Like, how come some animals can't understand that? Or am I not communicating right? Because it's every day he'll chew something and vomit on it. Like,
Yeah, so in situations like that, it is like almost working, like if you have a teenager who's like they're not supposed to be doing, and you ask them not, they'll do it. They have a rebellious side as well. So what I would do, try tonight, Jill, when you're lying in bed, when you're about to sleep, send Cuddles a message and just kind of picture the situation and just say, listen, I really don't want you to do that anymore because I'm worried it's going to keep getting you sick, and I love you. And try and reiterate that.
okay. Yeah, he even
Yeah.
chewed my bathing suit string a few years ago, ended up in the hospital, had to cut it out of his intestine. Like he chewed like the knot off the back of a bikini. I left my bikini, out. And so, yeah, he likes chewing on things. I'm like, I thought he would learn his lesson then and he didn't.
Oh,
I'm like, no.
yeah. So, remind him of that. Say, I don't want
That
you to
pain.
go to the vet and have surgery. I want you to be safe. So again, think of Cuddles as like how you would speak to a toddler, give
Mhm.
why, and I love you, and this is a better solution and stuff. And
Mhm.
if need, let me know. Why are you craving plastic?
Yeah. What's wrong with the diet?
Yeah. So, and see what you get and
Mhm.
see if behavior changes.
And by the way, he's been feeling fine. I know a few weeks ago I told Jamie and she helped me with him. He was not walking well and having spasms and screaming and pain. Nothing like that's happened since we spoken last, and that's been a few weeks. So fingers crossed for
Yeah.
now, and he hasn't seen the vet. My vet still hasn't come over with my friend. So to give my kids a Christmas present. So even to look at him, but thank you again for that. But he's been doing better for now. So I'm
Okay.
happy about that.
Changes, let me know.
I will, sweetheart. So, Annie, what else did you want to share?
I'm actually going to be doing a live event, Jill, on February 20th on Instagram. So if people want to join, they just have to follow me at the Mountain Medium. It's going to be
Awesome.
at p.m. Eastern time. And it's a way for people just to type in their questions for me. And it'll be I'm planning on an hour, but who knows? We can go for longer. And yeah, if you have any questions and you want to join and we can talk about animals, your loved ones on the other side, or you can ask me psychic questions. Anything is going to happen. So yeah, please join. And
Again, tell us when and where and how.
On Instagram at the Mountain Medium live event, February 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And also my website is jaimebreeze.com, JAIMEBREEZE.com. If anyone wants to touch base, feel free to shoot me an email. I'd love to hear from you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for letting us today. And great stories, as always, about your clients and your pets and their pets. And wow, and we can really just start talking to our animals, telepathy. You got me thinking, and I hope a lot of other people too. And again, for the group events and not group events, I'm sorry, they're actually one-on-ones you mentioned, but to do this type of work, they can reach out to you directly.
Yes, and more information is on the website about my classes as well.
Yay. Thank you so much for being here, sweetheart. Always a pleasure. And looking forward to the next time we get to speak, which hopefully is next week. Is it?
Yeah.
All right, good. Jaime Breeze, you're a sweetheart. Thank you again for everything.
Thanks, Jill. Bye now.
Bye. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.